Hey, and a huge congratulations on becoming the new public relations officer for the SGSG student government. Think of this as your personal guided tour, a way to get you up to speed on what is honestly one of the most important roles in student leadership. So let's dive right in.
Okay, before we get into any of the details, let's get one thing straight. This job, it's way more than just the title. As the public relations officer, you're the chief storyteller. You're the bridge between the student government and, well, everyone else. You get to shape the conversation, you get to celebrate all the awesome things students are doing. You are, quite literally, the voice of the students. It's a big deal for sure, but it's also an incredible opportunity.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about the mission, the big why behind everything we do. Then, we'll pinpoint exactly where you fit in the HESSGA structure and break down your official duties. After that, we'll open up a toolbox of creative ideas, and finally, we'll talk about the most exciting part, the legacy that you're about to build. All right, part one, welcome and the mission. Look, before you can be an effective voice for anyone, you've got to understand what we're all about. What does HESSGA actually stand for? What's our guiding principle? It's time to find our why.
This right here, this is your North Star. It's from the preamble of our Constitution, and it's everything. Every single announcement you make, every event you promote, it all has to circle back to this. Are you serving students? Are you pumping up school spirit? Are you building a positive culture? This is the mission, and you are right on the front lines.
Which brings us to part two, your place in the structure. To really pull off that mission, you need to know where you fit in. HESSGA isn't just some casual club, it's a government with a real structure designed to actually get things done. So let's find you on the map.
Our student government is set up a lot like a bigger democracy, with three branches that are separate but totally connected. You've got the Legislative Assembly, that's where ideas get debated, and the Judicial Committee, which makes sure everything's fair. And then there's the branch at the heart of it all, the Executive Committee.
And yep, that's where you live. The Executive Committee is the action branch. Its whole purpose is to execute and coordinate all the student government's activities. You're not just talking about ideas, you're on the team that makes them happen. You are right in the center of the action.
All right, Section 3, your constitutional duties. So, we've covered the why and the where. Now let's get into the what. This is your official playbook pulled straight from the HESSGA Constitution.
Now, I know what you're thinking when you see a list like this. Chores, right? But don't look at it that way. Think of these as your superpowers. Maintaining the bulletin board? That's you controlling a major info hub. Doing radio announcements? You literally have a daily platform to shape the vibe of the school. The newsletter? You're the editor-in-chief of student news. Every single duty is a tool you can use.
When you boil it all down, all those duties come back to these three simple, powerful actions: connect, celebrate, and communicate. That is your mandate. You got to own it.
Okay, so you know the rules of the game. You've got the playbook. Now for the really fun part. Section 4 is all about your toolbox of ideas. How do you take those official duties and turn them into something awesome and memorable? Let's get creative.
So, the Constitution talks about press releases, but let's bring that into this century, shall we? Use the school's social media to be a hype machine for student success. Did the debate team just crush a tournament? Is the drama club's new play getting amazing reviews? You be the one to shout it from the digital rooftops.
Here's an idea that has a huge impact: a senior spotlight. You could work with the yearbook team to feature different seniors, highlight their achievements, their plans for the future, maybe a favorite memory. It's such a cool way to build tradition and make the graduating class feel really special.
Thinking about content for all that social media and the newsletter? A themed photo booth at big events is an absolute goldmine. It's a fun activity, it boosts school spirit like crazy, and it gives you a ton of amazing positive photos to share with everybody.
How about this for a curveball? Building relationships and showing real character. Instead of just trash-talking a rival, what if you showed up and spread some positivity? Imagine getting a group together to chalk up their sidewalks with good luck messages before the big game. That's the kind of PR that gets people talking.
Want a project you could literally start tomorrow? A Kindness Rocks project. It's so simple. First, you just organize a painting party. Then students leave these cool rocks with encouraging messages all over campus for people to find. And finally, you use your PR skills to post photos and spread that good vibe even further online.
So, we've talked about the mission, your place in the grand scheme of things, your official duties, and a bunch of creative ideas. And all of that brings us to our final and maybe most important section. Your legacy starts now. What are people going to remember about your time in this role?
And let's end right where we started, back at the heart of what HESSGA is all about. This quote says it all, doesn't it? More than anything else, your job is to be an ambassador, to represent all of us through service and, just as importantly, through good character. That's the real foundation of your legacy.
So there you have it. You've got the mission to guide you, the map to show you where you fit, and a whole toolbox full of duties and ideas. Your orientation is officially complete. You are ready to go.
And that just leaves us with one final question. You have the power to connect, to celebrate, and to communicate. You are the voice of the students. So, what's your first move going to be?